The investigation into how a passenger plane and Army Black Hawk helicopter collided is now in the hands of federal authorities.
And tonight we're getting insight from experts with years of experience in the air and behind NTSB investigations. We've been keeping you updated on that deadly crash in Washington, D.C. Authorities say more than 60 people have died after the crash plunged the plane and aircraft into the Potomac River.
We've heard from several key officials today, including President Trump and his newly appointed Secretaries of Defense and Transportation. A theme to their remarks: we will get to the bottom of what happened.
And just hours ago, the NTSB saying this is their first full day of working on this crash. The investigation is just getting started.
This, for us, is our first full day on scene with our entire crew coming together. We have about nearly 50 people on scene, and in addition to our resources back at headquarters in our labs and throughout the agency.
NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says this investigation is expected to be a whole government effort.
The News Channel 9's Meg Doyle joins us now to report on what a local expert believes will happen now. Meg.
Josh, Latricia, I spoke with Jim Hall, the former NTSB chairman. He said along with the NTSB investigation, the Army will also be conducting their own investigation since it involved a military helicopter.
This investigation is a one-day, maybe a couple of day story for most Americans. For those who lost lives, it's a lifetime.
67 lives were lost when an Army helicopter and airplane collided over the Potomac River Wednesday night.
That's a very difficult thing to see because that's the moment 67 people lost their lives in this event.
Jim Hall, former NTSB chairman, says to complete an investigation of this size and complexity can take about a year.
Every part of the aviation experience that occurred on that event will be looked at. And so all of the records will be looked at, records of the aircraft, what was done when it was at the Wichita airport, what the flight plan was, any deviation.
Hall says key evidence in this investigation will be challenging to get to.
The most important first step for the board is trying to locate the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, which in this situation are underwater, and that may require be challenging.
I also spoke with Fred Reeb, an aviation consultant and retired Army helicopter pilot. Reeb said it's normal for training flights in the Army to take place in that area.
They fly their combat or tactical mission, and they fly a training mission. So it's not unusual for the helicopters to be out there and flying that.
Reeb says the air traffic control personnel who were working will be removed from their duties for now.
Because it's pretty dramatic to have something like that happen. They need time to decompress. They'll conduct interviews with the air traffic controllers. They will pull all the radar data and they will pull all the audio tapes from air traffic control.
Reeb stressed the importance of not putting blame on anyone.
This is not a time to point fingers. This is a time to pray for the crews, pray for the passengers, and pray for the other people around there.
It has been 15 years since the last major aviation crash.
Anybody that's uneasy about flying shouldn't get on 153. Flying is the safest way that anyone can travel in the United States.
In the FAA report obtained by the Associated Press, staffing was not normal in the air traffic control tower at the time of the collision. Latricia.
Meg, thank you. Last night's crash mirrors another crash into the Potomac that happened 43 years ago. Air Florida Flight 90 crashed shortly after takeoff. Winter weather played a role in that crash. Only 5 people survived. 78 others died.